Hi, I'm Lisa from the Dog Play and the Dog Learning Centre. I'm here with another vlog, and this topic is merely dogs and pups. Millions of us share our homes with dogs all around the world, and they are, of course, supposed to be man's best friend. So in order to get on the theme of this topic, I thought I would share a little video with you.
You're my honey bun, sugar plum, pumpy umby umpkin. You're my sweetie pie. You're my cupcake, gumdrop, snickums, spickums, you're...
So I hope that you all enjoyed that video, and I appreciate not everybody will join in on the cutism of that video, but for the vast majority of people who own dogs or puppies, they absolutely adore them. We can hear them being referred to as furry babies and all sorts of things like that, and that's fine. We have to remember our dogs are dogs, so they are a different species, and sometimes we need to treat them differently. But in treating them differently, we also need to understand them. Now, there is a plethora of information out there on the market available for anybody who's got a dog to go and read about. Some of these books are modern and some of them they're really quite outdated, but they're still available. So when you're picking up a book, how do you know what's right for you and right for your dog? So I think it's really important that it has, whatever training or method you want to use with your dog, it has to sit right with you in your gut. And if you are using methods, one of my favourite things is you don't know what you don't know. You could very well be using methods that are damaging to your dog's mindset, damaging to the dog's trust that the dog has with you, because of course we are our dog's carers and protectors. So if we were to go around bullying and punishing our children, they would think very differently of us, and it is the exact same for dogs. So during lockdown, a lot of people have gone out and got themselves a puppy because they think it's the best time to have them. We're at home with them. They'll get used to us. We'll get used to them. Unless you are a dog trainer, behaviour consultant, behaviourist, behaviour therapist, there's, you know, an array of titles out there. And of course, everybody you meet out on a walk, they're all dog trainers. They've had dogs all their days. So everybody's firing information at you. So what you've really got to do is be savvy and weed out the chaff. Now, as I said, you can have things that are published in black and white. You can have these videos. You can have these trainers doing what I'm doing, which is just vlogging. And they can be saying, well, you do this and you do that. My favourite saying is, you don't know what you don't know. But I have to, you know, appeal to the better side of your nature. If something doesn't sit right with you, don't do it. What we've been learning about recently, there's been an increase in people spraying their dogs with water in their face. Now, that is an aversive training method. It is derogatory, it is negative, it's cruel, and it's really punishing to the dog. And also your dog or your child, if you were doing it to your child, using the child as an example, they're going to look at you and think, why are you hurting me? Why are you punishing me? These methods can work, because the dogs will mostly do anything to avoid punishment. Alternatively, these methods, dependent on the dog, the individual dog, some dogs love water in their face. So whatever behaviour you're trying to strike out, it actually becomes a positive reinforcer for that behaviour to continue. If it was barking and every time your dog barked, you sprayed water in your dog's face, the dog might continue to bark or begin to bark thinking, I want the water. Alternatively, you are actually just scaring your dog. You know, you're punishing your dog, so your dog, yeah, the behaviour stops because it's like a shock, it's an interrupter, but they can become used to it, they can learn to accept it, because dogs often do accept punishment from their owners, regardless of how unwittingly you are performing it. We can be punishing them, and therefore it stops working altogether. In effect, what we are doing is we're kind of bullying our dogs. So if we've got them because we love them, we care for them and we want to look after them, why would we want to bully them? And we wouldn't. And a lot of people are out there doing it unknowingly because they just simply don't know any better. So I have to ask you, if you have a dog, please think about the methods that you're using. If you are using a trainer, make sure that they are qualified, they are accredited, or that they come with really good reviews. Because every man and their dog out there is a dog trainer. I've had dogs all my life, so therefore I know. And that's not always the way it works. Reviews are fantastic. It's good to refer to these things. But you make sure your trainer's using positive reinforcement methods so that we're not damaging our dogs and making them scared of us and adding more problems to the household than there already are. It's just all about being kind. If you've got a dog, why hurt them? Why punish them? what I heard today, the story I heard today, which I found really quite distressing, is this owner had read in a puppy book that when the dog barks, they just grab a hold of his nose and pinch him, hold his nose shut, hold his mouth shut so that he can't bark. And that is so cruel and so damaging. And now those owners are wondering why their dog is biting. Well, I think if you did that to me, I'd bite you as well. So many methods out there, and a plethora of information that you've got to weed through, but there is good information out there. If it doesn't sit right with you in your gut, then don't use it. You know, don't risk abusing your dog if you're not sure of something. If something seems a bit outdated, then most likely it will be, because years gone by, not that Barbara Woodhouse was a punishing trainer, but she certainly used some aversive methods. You know, the old stories of if your dog wheezes in the carpet, take its nose and rub it in it. No, don't do it. It's so punishing. It's awful. It's not going to teach the dog anything other than to fear you. But these methods worked back in the day. As it did with children, it was the same. You raised the dog and you raised the child not too differently in terms of they were smacked. Now, in this day and age, it's scientifically proven that there are far more effective methods to use, and that's what we want to implement and put out there. So my mentor and myself, got a plethora of platforms whereby people can reach us for online consultations at the moment. So please don't struggle with anything that you're going through with your dog. There are resources out there that we can and will help with. Alternatively, if you want to go to another trainer, just make sure that they are who they say they are, that they're good, they're positive, they come with good reviews, they know that what they're talking about. And if you've got any concerns, don't do it to your dog, because damaging training methods can have long-lasting effects, and it's the last thing you want to do to your dog. You've brought them into your home, hopefully because you love them, you want to share your life with them, and whilst they'll come out with a lot of behaviours that we don't understand, that's why there are professionals out there who are able to help you with that, so let's not hurt the dogs.